All right, let's talk about something that nobody seems to get right in network marketing, or at least few people. Following up with leads. People talk about it, sure, but do they teach you how to actually build relationships with prospects? Or is it just check in and see if they're ready yet advice? Spoiler alert, if so, you're doing it wrong. I'm about to show you exactly how to build relationships that count with your MLM prospects. But first, I'm Matt Zavadil, and I'm passionate about helping networkers like you improve your leadership and marketing skills. I encourage you to stick around to the end here because I'm going to give you 7 actionable tips that you can use immediately to build real relationships with your network marketing prospects who willingly buy from you and join your team. And by the way, this is video number 4 in a series that digs into vital MLM topics like how to find leads, how to talk to your leads, and how to get them to join your business. So check out the full playlist. Before I give you the answer to how to follow up with your network marketing prospects, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to my channel so you never miss a future video training, and share this video with your upline, your downline, your sidelines, and your friends who need to hear this kind of a message. All right, let's get to it. If you're only following up with your network marketing leads to, quote, push a sale, you're missing the whole point. It's why so many people struggle in network marketing. They never quite build a real connection with their prospects. So I'd like to show you how to kind of flip the script, so to speak, and do follow up the right way by building relationships. Tip number 1, use a relationship building mindset. Think of it this way. If you're looking at your prospects like dollar signs, you've already lost the game. You cannot treat people like transactions and expect them to stick around with you. Your goal should be to get to know them, understand their pain points, and actually care about their success. I know, kind of a revolutionary thought, right? But here's the action for you. The next time you talk to a prospect, don't bring up your product, service, or business right away. Ask them about their goals, their challenges. Build rapport with those folks. You'll be surprised at how much more open they become to you. So here's action tip number 1 to do immediately. Starting today, when you follow up with a prospect, focus on asking them about their goals or current struggles first. Skip the sales pitch for now. All right, tip number 2. Go beyond my first tip about relationship building by using personalized messages. When it's time to follow up, don't make the rookie mistake of sending out those cookie cutter messages. The ones your upline may have given you or those scripts you got from a sales book. I mean, who likes getting a generic message that screams, I've copy and pasted this over to you, right? Your prospects sure don't. So personalization is where the magic happens. It shows that you're paying attention to them. Here's a pro tip. Reference something specific that they've mentioned to you. Maybe they talked about their family or their job the last time you chatted or DM'd. Mention it. It makes a huge difference. Action tip number 2. Go back and review the last 5 follow-up messages that you sent out. Rewrite them with more personal details about each prospect. Watch how your response rate starts to shoot up. Tip number 3. There is big power in the use of questions. Okay, so questions. I know it sounds simple, right? But asking the right questions, that's the game changer. Instead of trying to convince your prospects that you've got the best thing since sliced bread, ask them some open-ended questions. Let them talk. The more they share, the more you learn. Remember, though, that this is not an interrogation. Keep it light, but make sure they do most of the talking. So action tip number 3. Before your next follow-up, come up with 3 solid open-ended questions that get your prospect talking. A couple of good examples of open-ended questions might be, what's your biggest challenge right now? Or what would success look like for you? It's amazing, but you'll quickly learn that the person asking the most questions is actually in control of the conversation. By the way, if you're loving these first 3 tips, but you want more detailed education on how to up-level your lead generation and follow-up skills for your network marketing business, and do it all without spamming anyone or bugging your family or Facebook friends, I've put a link in the pinned comment and description to our free digital recruiting bootcamp series. It teaches you how to use social media to attract new customers and team members every single week. All right, tip number 4, provide value in every single follow-up. So here's a golden rule to think about when it comes to follow-up. Always give value in every follow-up scenario. Whether it's a tip, a helpful resource, or even just a link to a great article, you want to be the person that they associate with helping, not overselling. And by the way, value doesn't always have to be related to your product or service. It could be related to something you and that person have talked about, and it's going to help them in some way. So action tip number 4, Right after this video, send a helpful resource to one of your prospects. Don't pitch, just give. Trust me, you're going to build goodwill and stand out from the rest. Tip number 5, build deeper trust through consistent communication. All right, consistency. This is where so many networkers drop the ball. If you only follow up once or sporadically, your prospects are going to forget about you. You've got to stay top of mind, but without being annoying. And no, spamming them does not count as consistent communication. You've got to keep it casual, but regular. So action tip number 5 is set up a simple follow-up system and do it today. Whether it's a reminder on your phone or a full-on CRM system, make sure you're following up every 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm saying that loosely. You kind of have to let yourself be guided by the conversation with each person, but every 2 weeks is good with something valuable. Tip number 6, which is kind of a nice subset of tip number 5, and that is follow up without being pushy. So let's be real. No one likes to be hounded, but obviously the key to success here in network marketing is you got to be a little bit tenacious with your follow-up. Stay interested in the person, not the sale. Be a resource, not a pest. If you focus on serving, they'll appreciate hearing from you instead of dreading it. It's a subtle concept, but very powerful. So tip number 6, next time you follow up, instead of asking something like, hey, are you ready yet? Ask if there's anything you can do to help them in their life right now. Show them that you're there for them, not just the sale. All right, tip number 7. 7, okay? Use some social proof with your follow-up process. Let's talk about something super powerful, social proof. When people see that others have already had success with you or your product or your business or your service, whatever it might be, it lowers their guard. It's not just you telling them that this is something great for them. It's them seeing real results speaking for themselves. Share testimonials, success stories, or even a quick example of someone who was in their shoes and found success after working with you. It builds trust instantly. Action tip number 7 is right now, grab 1 or 2 success stories you have and work them into your next follow-up message. And if you don't have your own testimonials yet, just use one that your company makes available. Do your best to make it as relatable as possible to every individual prospect, and then show them what's possible. Here's a quick biblical principle around everything I've shared so far. As I continue to study the book of Joshua, I was fascinated by the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, who twice failed to follow the simple process God had laid out for them. First, they refused to cross over the Jordan into the promised land with the other 9.5 tribes. They figured the land east of the Jordan was good enough for them. Then, after spending 7 years helping the other tribes inside the promised land, they returned to the east side of Jordan and immediately erected an altar in direct violation of the law laid out by God back in Deuteronomy 12. The altar had already been erected in Shiloh, called the place of rest, on the west side of the Jordan, which interestingly was a foreshadowing of the place of rest all of us as believers find in Jesus Christ. But there's a lesson here for you as you work on following up with your network marketing leads. I encourage you to avoid cutting corners or violating the law of relationships. Go back and write down these 7 specific tips that I've given you and use them diligently. Avoid trying to go for the sale too quickly. It will only serve to harm the relationships that you're attempting to build with your prospects. It will only serve to lower your income possibilities and downline growth opportunities. Please go use these tips to follow up without being pushy with your network marketing leads, to time your follow-ups just right, to use social proof to build better, stronger relationships with your MLM prospects. And remember, follow-ups are not just about closing a sale. They're about opening that relationship. If you focus on the relationship as your top priority, I promise you'll see a huge difference in how people start responding to you. Has this all been valuable to you? If so, please subscribe to the channel so you never miss when I put new content like this up. And don't forget to like the video and drop a comment below if you found these tips helpful or if you have a question. And share all this with your upline, your downline, your sidelines, so they can improve in this vital part of building a network marketing business. And if you really want to up-level your online marketing skills, go through the Digital Recruiting Bootcamp series that I put down in the pinned comment and description to get the entire picture of how to get more and more leads for your network marketing business through social media. That's it for now. I'm signing off. Look out for the 4th installment of this series coming soon, which will be all about hitting on the keys to building a strong downline.